Connect. We are
Good
live.
evening, friends. So, we are live after a bit of technical glitch. Welcome. Words become whispers, then settle deep within. Poetry touches the soul where no language has been. That's poetry for me, and hope everyone resonates with the thoughts. Good evening from India. Literary Warriors Group was founded from 20. It picked up real momentum in terms of spreading its wings by organizing quite a few online and offline meets. And today, you are welcome to the 59th amidst us, a galaxy of poets. David Leo Sirosis from USA oblique Canada, Devika Brendon from Sri Lanka oblique Australia, Pallavi Jain from Bahrain, Rupa Rao from USA, and Satbir, Chadha, and I, Neelam from India. Let me begin by introducing our multi-talented poets. David Leo Sirosis is a Canadian American poet published 167 times in 29 countries, translated into 14 languages such as Hindi, Spanish, and French. He hosts Spoken Word Online, the Zoom arm of Spoken Word Paris. His first collection is called Humble Doves, Poems to Pigeons and Plants. He won third prize in winning writers Virgil from Humor Poetry Contest. Oh, I'm amazed. His poetry has appeared in the Bombay Review, Artemis Journal, and more. Welcome, David. Let me now introduce Devika, who might be able to join us in a few minutes. Let me see once if we can add her. Yes, we take her name and she's here. So, Devika Brendon was consultant editor for Femme magazine and a poetry editor with Girls on Key, and is currently content editor for the New Ceylon writing pieces are widely published in international print and digital anthologies and journals. Her first novel, Aversion, set in contemporary Sri Lanka, was published by Gemfruit Publications. Welcome, Devika. And let me now introduce Satbir Chadha. Satbir Chadha is a novelist, poet, short story writer, and translator based in Delhi. Her most acclaimed novel is For God Loves Foolish People, the medical thriller understands. She has four solo collections of poetry, and Guru's Good Times is her first attempt at writing children's stories. Wow, wow. And let me now introduce Pallavi. Pallavi, a multifaceted creative soul residing in Bahrain, is a bilingual poet and writer originally from India. Her poems have been published in more than 20 international anthologies. Pallavi is an active member of many literary and poetry platforms. Beyond writing, a keen environmentalist, gardener, social worker, blogger, and mixed media art. Welcome, Pallavi. And let me now introduce Rupa Rao. Rupa Rao is a biographer, poet, writer, editor, and curator who holds an MBA and law degree. She is a proud admin at LWG and is chief coordinator for International Academy of Ethics. She's featured in multiple global poetry anthologies, magazines, and literary platforms. She enjoys hosting poetry sessions, author chats, nature walks, and yoga. One biography plus one prose. In addition, she also edited a fantasy novel, which is mine, three poetry collections for friends. So,
Thank
these were the
you.
introductions from my end.
And let me take over for a minute, if you will, dear Neelam, our founder for LWG. I request everyone to go on mute. I think I hear a lot of static and disturbance, please. Thank you so much. All right, so coming on to Neelam, who is the founder of LWG and the lovely host for the day today. Let me talk about Neelam, but let me do it her way today. She typically creates a four liner to introduce the poets, and this is a page I have borrowed from her book. So here it goes. Neelam's bilingual brilliance shines in tales simple and grand, prolific pages, novels, poems, children's worlds she penned by hand. Forbes' honored fame and Limca's record seal expand Neelam's literary stand. Awards aplenty. Tagore, Premchand, Freedom tunes across borders and land. Global stage echoes her voice, 8 million hearts in her command. So, welcome, dear host Neelam and the founder of LWJ. Over to you, and I'll go on mute because I hear echoes.
Thank you, dear Rupa. A few lines. I walked through shadows seeking light, questioning all I thought was true, until I turned within myself. Quest for enlightenment, David, which you have often said is your favorite dinner. David?
Sorry, the internet kept cutting out. I couldn't hear you. Okay, so
Uh,
it's my turn then. Is that the
yeah,
yes?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. So this poem is called "Illusion is the hardest thing." I see. The sound is one second.
Yes, there is a lot of static. That is correct, David.
Okay, one moment.
Everybody may kindly mute.
Okay, my sound I hope is better now. So here we go. Illusion is the hardest thing. I see and hear Avenue de Versailles release its voice from words that long had held it down, aimless flurries of
Devika, can you
passersby.
please mute? Devika, can you please mute? Thank you so much.
Sunset stretches overhead and builds a city of stone on green, which seems to fill the absent sky with fiery lights in brilliant grids. We swim in rhythm with the sea of breath, whose breezes the chord progression never resolves. Time's fingers grip a spinning globe and draw the soul slowly over magnetic meridians at dusk, strum the world's imaginary strings. Within, we chant a hidden word in meditation often heard. The river rolls backward in my eyes, mirrored spheres, flows over inner rocks, and returns a wounded arrow. Our sharp half moon has split the dusk and cut the chords to cold denial of beauty's brush on canvas minds. Twilight's windows begin to speak in sapphire song and one long sigh. Seagulls wheel over long waters, crying out their timeless chorus. Midway in the journey of our life, we found the ocean lost to us. We burned for a bond with water and wandered with every feather to seek and find. Below Pomerabo's faint green rails, in cobalt light, white birds unwind. They work to learn letters and words from overvalued thoughts we guard. With unspoken sparks, we make our world. A troubled singer begs the mirror to glitter in falling shards just to break the hardest layer. My other mother murmurs, Maya is the hardest thing. Please push the mirror and discover it's a window to within. At the deep heart's core, leave your door wide open. Let kind fire spread.
That was wonderful. The way you rendered and the poem, all was so nice. Thank you, David, for this lovely
Thank you.
poem. So let's move ahead and a few lines. The scaffolding stayed long after we knew there was nothing left for it to hold on to. We took it down plank after plank and found two separate lives beneath the blank. Please render your first poem, Pallavi, on an interesting topic.
Thank you, Neelam. Yeah, the title of my poem is Scaffolding. The longest and gloomiest night of my life, the overcast sky was the reflection of the restlessness in my heart. I have not ever witnessed lightning stuck so hard. The bond we thought would last for 7 lifetimes was just a social scaffolding of relations. We were happy on the surface, but the cracks started growing beneath. We were drifting apart. Slowly, the gaps grew like railway tracks, running parallel, never to meet at any point. Too much was said, or maybe too little was shared. There was utter silence amidst the chaos of emotions. Sometimes one has to move away to see the bigger picture. To leave was not easy, but to carry on with the heavy luggage was exhausting. It was strenuous to detach from the bond of love, the bond of love which was still existed. It takes courage to accept the natural cycle of life, to understand that no situation is perfect and no person is complete. Embracing the impermanence is the key to salvation. It was time to shatter the scaffolding and confront the pieces of myself I was afraid to unpack. I tucked away some happy memories in a small backpack and set out on my journey, believing no matter how long and dark is a tunnel, there is a golden light at its end. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Pallavi. There's always a golden light at the end of any tunnel. Wish we all knew that, and then we can cross the seven seas, as I said.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
So, some viewers are also giving us nice comments. Sunil Kaushalji has joined us. So, Devika, are you able to speak? We can't see you. Can please try speaking?
Okay. Taking flight risk. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please render your first poem.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah? Okay, cool. This is quite strange, but here goes. Flight risk. I cannot tell the difference between the winner and the first runner up on the screen. Spokesmen for the opposing parties are sounding the same in what they say. All the women seem to go to the same salons for their fillers and their plumpers and their hair straightening and their eyelash curling. I mistake one person for another all the time. Step out of this lineup with me, please. Let's take what we need and leave. I pray to myself as we cross the border, please, God, show me what is currently being hidden from me, but please only show me what I need to see. I cannot be tethered. My attention can be caught, but not kept, and no cage holds me. Thank you.
Wonderful
Thank you.
poem,
Thank you.
Devika. Uh, I liked
I
it.
can't hear a thing.
And
Oh dear.
We
okay,
heard you
that's
there.
fine.
You were clear. You were
But
completely
for the
clear. We heard
audience,
you.
about I tried. So Devika's poem was something which
Why can't I
said,
hear?
I tried to find what made me rare seem to have been walked before. Yes, uniqueness is what we see and we rarely find. Thank you, Devika, for the wonderful poem. And we move ahead to our dear friend Rupa. But before that, a few lines. When the body decides to misbehave, every joint joins in, loud and brave. A sneeze, a stumble, a sudden ache, the body's own comedy, for heaven's sake. You have in your cup today.
Thank you, Neelam. And I think Satbir ji was waiting, but I think I will go now because you've introduced my poem. Thank you very much. So, talking about the bodily comedic chaos, let's blame the low oxygen for the yawn's ghastly sight. Nails grow curly, crazy, staging losing fights. Chomping, chewing, biting echoes, sounds aloud. Sprays the snack debris, spitting a wet cloud. Hair leaps off the head in clumping storms. Mysterious gas erupts in all hazardous forms. Burps boom aloud. Farts rise sky high and tall. A symphonous stink can shock a smelling ball. Knees crackety crick, bones wobble weak. Pee panic arrives often, daily each week. Unwanted are my guests constant, companions not invited, yet unhesitant. They barge in shedding social shame, consistently upstage me and my personal game. So that was my bodily chaotic chaos. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Rupa. Thank you so much. And let me now invite Satbiji, but before that, a few lines. Our Indian calendar counts more than days. It holds the moon, the seasons, and ancient ways. Every month carries a story, a festival, a song, a timeless rhythm where our roots belong. We would love to hear your poem on the Indian calendar, dear Satbiji.
Thank you. Thank you, Devika. I was, Rupa, I was just trying to make sure. Okay. The poem is called Full Circle. Let me introduce a small something. We go by the Indian calendar, where the month starts in the middle of the Georgian months. And calendar goes according to the sun, moon, and stars. Each month in every region of the country is by its turn of the season, the festivities, the foliage changing, crops, the cultural activities.
Where did she go?
Oops, the calendar has caused Amavasya right now.
Which is
And
an eclipse.
so let us hope Satbir returns with full moon. So what do you, Rupa, till then?
So I think while we wait for Sadbirji to come back, I'd like to invite dear Neelam to share her poem. And both her poems, actually, in the two rounds, will be from her collection, Splinters of a Broken Mirror. And just to give a little intro to her first poem, change arrives softly like dawn on a quiet shore. Change shakes old rooms to make space for something more. Change lifts closed hearts when they are tired of being broken. Change reminds us some doors are meant to remain open. So, Neelam, I want to hear about what change are we talking about today. Over to you.
Thank you so much, dear Rupa. And here goes my poem titled Change. Things don't really change. Things don't really change. Nature is perpetual and incomplete. If one bird or animal dies, another is born. In totality, things don't really change.
Something strange is
Certain
happening
flowers
today.
bloom in a particular season when you cross the clock of time
Neelam, are you
and touch
there?
the base again. One sec. Sadbirji
Sadhbiji, go ahead,
will
Neelam.
invite
Please
you
go ahead.
again. We'll invite you again, Satbirji. So I think I'll have to restart. Things don't really change. Change is perpetual and complete. If one bird or animal dies, another is born. In totality, things don't really change. Certain flowers bloom in a particular season. When you cross the clock of time and touch the base again, they shall blossom once more. Things don't really change. The rivers keep flowing year after year, and if you don't touch the shore of Ganga at a particular spot, again, after decades, you'll find the same turbulence or calm. Things don't really change. The human nature is also steady. Rarely do you see an arrogant person turn humble or a crooked mindset change into noble. Things don't really change. Or at least it appears that things don't change. Or at least it appears that things don't change. If you want change, you have to be the agent of change. You can really do wonders. If you want change, you have to be the agent of change. You can really do wonders. Thank you.
Absolutely
Yay!
true. We have to be agent of change, and that is what, when we all get together on LWG platform, our verses and presence is trying to reach corners of the globe in the dark and daylight across different time zones to make a little change, whether it is to bring a smile or share a tear or be happy with each other. So thank you, dear Neelam. I'm completely with you on this. And I want to thank Rajesh Sinha ji, Sunil Kaushal ji, Gayatri Joshi ji, all of you who have joined and shared lovely comments. And I want to thank Sunil ji. If indulge me, Neelam, she says that was one hilarious poem. Wonderful. Had you been my teacher in medical college, I would have found it so easy to study medicine, said Sunil Kaushal to my poem. So thank you, Sunil ji, my Miss Sizzle. Thank you.
So, here I would like to tell our viewers that we have an international online poetry rendition contest in which you can post your video in a group. We will be posting this poster on in the comment section and pin it, and you can be a part of it. Now, coming back, we missed certain lines of Satbirji's poem. So I request Satbirji to carry on. We said कि अमावस्या हो गई है calendar में. There's अमावस्या in calendar, and we move on to full moon with your poem.
And Neelam, we request everyone to go on mute because there is some static and disturbance.
I think there's an issue with Devika's this thing, and I'm not even able to mute Devika. Yeah, now it has been muted. So Satbirji, your poem.
Thank you. The poem is called Full Circle. It's about the Indian calendar, which I said. So, Chaith is the first month. We celebrate our new year with the beginning of Chaith. I'm telling you the Punjabi months. The other names in other regions are more or less similar. Chaith begins the peeling of snows. It's like March, the winter is just ending. Chaith begins the peeling of snows from the mountain peaks as it perspires down the hills. It's also the sprouting of nascent shy green from dried and cracked brown skin. Baisakh. Baisakh is the month of the earth veiled by sparkling golden fields of ripened ears of wheat. Festival of harvest, birthday of Khalsa, martial display by Nihangs, and Bhangra dhol beats. Jait is the melodious song of the koel. Bunches of plump mangoes on branches and of parrots green, traveling to meet grandparents or escaping to the hills, of sleeping on rooftops, fanned by the northerlies. Assad has soft milky clouds drift past the blue sky as the farmer's eyes preen, searching for the rain bearing murky grey ones that would pour and sprout the newly sowed seed. Savan satiates the eyes and the soul as the earth wears green, bathed in daily showers. Siblings rejoice in the Rakhi bonding, and there's a whiff from every home of rich cardamom flavored kheer. Bhado is the next, and the earth takes a nap. The breeze blows hot, hard, and the trees do not sway. Sorry, the breeze blows not hard, and the trees do not sway. This is the month we are going through. Sweaty, sultry month of listless nights and hazy, dust laden, lazier days. Asu, that has the solstice, is the most temperate month, like a curb before the bend. Soon there'll be a nip in the air, and haze will clear, and the wind too will take a turn. Kartik is a solemn and divine with the coming of Guru Nanak, also the fall of Ravan and Ram's return. Fragrant mustard miles with their golden flowers, tall sugarcane, and loaded fields of corn. Maghar is cold. It's time to get out the shawls and coats and quilts and the essential knitting needles. Panjiri made in pure ghee with sugar and nuts and raisins and sarson ka saag, makki ki roti. Posh is the saddest month of all, marking martyrdom of ninth Guru and four sons of Guru Gobind. Chilled earth, chilled air, frozen mountains and lakes as we pray for peace and safety. Magh celebrates Holi. So Lodi. Magh celebrates Lodi, that marks the end of winter with bonfires tall and sharing jaggery candies. And now that we are modern, we celebrate the Georgian New Year in clubs and fancy parties. Fagun, the favorite of all, for you play the holy colors and sing of Krishna and his gopis. The earth springs its bounty of choicest hues with proud flowers like roses, tulips, and poppies. The wheel has turned another full circle. Time is eternal. Though we measure it in years and months, we mark it with the earth's resolution. Thank you.
That was wonderful. You took us through the entire year's journey, through the various moods of the month. So that was wonderful. Thank you, dear poets, for your lovely poems, which we are all enjoying this evening. I'm sure that the viewers who have already joined are loving the poems, and those who shall join shall also find them interesting. So, for the second round, we again have Satbir at to start the round. A humorous poem makes us laugh at life's little quirks along the path. With wit and mischief in every line, it finds a smile in the strangest time. I've always loved humorous poems, and we are going to hear one from Satbir. Satbir has gone missing. So we move on to our second participant. I rebelled, not to fight the world, but to discover who I was. I broke the mold they made for me and found my own voice in the pause. Do the words resonate with you, dear Rupa?
Absolutely, it does, and how. So, rebellion is something all of us are so familiar with and been through at different stages and phases of life, and we watch it around us in different situations. Here, I'm talking about a specific creature. Using that creature, I talk about the rebellion. Here goes. A colorless moth, mocked for being too serene, dimmed her glow beneath scorn from words mean. Taunts clipped her bruised wings into hiding unseen. Stormy wave of support carved a spine from thin air. Strength of silence ignited rebellion's blazing flare. Her dormant hues awakened, bold, defiant, bright. A butterfly rose resplendent, mysteriously in the night. Butterfly flapped, feisty wings, fierce, fearless, unassailable. Sole version we see is of reborn, dazzling, determined rebel. So that was my rebellion. Thank you so much for your listen.
Wonderful it is, and I suppose because some people rebel, that we have some different kind of lives. Otherwise, we would all be like uh, Devika said in a poem, everybody is similar. We would not want to move to any other direction. Manju has joined us. Gayatri is also here. Mohammad Ali is here. Sunil Kaushal is here. So that's wonderful to have so many people with us. Satbirji, we had invited you to render your humorous poem. So please render yours now.
Unmute yourself, please, Sadbirji.
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for going missing. Okay, uh, I thought I write to you about that rat that trapped itself in a shelf. Neelam, you've been to my kitchen, you know what it's like. I thought I'd
Yeah.
write to you about the rat that trapped in a shelf that was higher than my head, and its trap was shut. I had to open the trap to get out that jar of sugar, the sugar I needed to bake a cake for my little granddaughter, the little one who's very fond of her granny and she always wants cake. For the cake, I needed sugar and I opened the trap of the shelf. Oh, what a start it gave to the big trapped rat. It jumped to the top of the jar and crouched, all alert. All alert, for now it could be free from the night in the small shelf where it accidentally got trapped when trying to get some sugar. Now I needed that sugar, and the rat sat on top of the jar. I thought he'd climb down, so I waited, but his maths was better. His maths was better. If he'd jumped to the ground, he might have fractured a toe. So, to break his fall, he simply jumped on my head and scampered down my back before I could get my wits and scream. But then, wasn't Ganesha also always craving sugar and butter? Thank you.
That was nice, Satbir. Now I want to come to your kitchen once again and have the cake, and let's see what happens.
And
So,
Neelam, we have Manju saying she had a similar experience as Satbir ji a few days ago.
that's great. That's great. Manjuji, we would invite you someday to listen to your story too. But for now, a few lines from my side. Beyond the noise, beyond the known, I journeyed far, yet stayed within. Enlightenment was not a distant dawn, it was the awakening from within. Eager to listen to your another spiritually rich poem, David.
Thank you so much. I have more than 500 pages of poetry that I've received in my dreams, and I really don't consider myself the writer of them. In any case, the Bombay Review was the first publisher of lines like these, and here we go. The picture in the paper of a person fallen flat on the sidewalk may make our bones feel that they are free to move freely. How fortunate. Do you think a flower is aware of its effect on people? Absolutely. It feels its beauty, freeing us to feel the beauty within. All these deities I have to thread together, fragments of divinity. Sometimes I feel my work on a poem is done because God has heard. The light he writes on paper, it comes to be miraculously. The words are leaves that fell from God. Be quiet now, don't scream. That would wake them from their dream. The falling stars of God's words, lightning crowds the night horizon. Ballroom dance of sun and moon. The radiance from the moon reaches toward Earth, and the Earth shine spreads toward the moon. You'll feel a surge of energy tingle when the spiritual becomes intimate inspiration. I wrote this letter from 4 conjoining rooms, my red abode of joy, without a thought of whether I would receive a reply. You get to the end of the road, but don't pretend that the journey is over. And finally, if you would only turn the key, you would see that you are free. Thank you so much.
You already have claps for you from
It's
Manju, who is a
really
wonderful
beautiful. I can't
poet.
stop myself from complimenting you. It's a beautiful poem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I love that phrase, ball dance of the sun and the moon. And I was imagining it.
Uh,
So thank you for the lovely poem.
thank you.
And we move ahead. They nod together, following every command, agreeing with words they barely understand. No questions, no challenge, no voice of their own. Just heads that keep moving to a tune not their own. Do you agree, dear Deepika? Devika? Do you agree, dear Devika? We are eager to listen to your poem.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, because I only have the poem in front of me on my screen. I can't see your faces, so it's a bit. Yeah. This is. Can I just make a little introduction? Thank you for your poetic to me just then. I love it. In fact, I'm just loving this whole thing. I'm sorry about all the internet connection issues, but I've been hearing you all, and it's beautiful. David, I loved your poem just then. Okay. So this is called Smooth. And it's a love poem. Oh, as silk, you smooth me over, but without losing any part of what is being covered. I can feel the heft and texture of it. You settle softly like a cloud or a dragonfly, all the effort going into your constrained tenderness, a dazzling dexterity. All this noise around me mutes, and a gentle peace seats itself with a kind of dignity within, soothing, smoothing. The people I used to like seem like puppets, jerking in a repertoire that I no longer care to view. Here we are. I said, I need you beside me on this. I actually said that, and you said yes.
That was wonderful. Your poem is very profound and it made us all think for a moment, and we were all silent for a minute. Thank you so much, dear Devika, for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thank you.
Uh, so, moving on, we need not think alike to walk together, nor share the same dreams, beliefs, or weather. Let every heart be free to simply be. Inclusion begins when we make room for diversity. What do you think, Pallavi?
I, yeah, Neelam, my poem's title is Live and Let Live. It's about acceptance and empathy. So here I begin. Live and let live. Every living being is unique. Our individuality separates us, and our open mindedness connects us. Diversity is a rule of nature. Respectful acceptance and inclusion is a choice, which results into belonging. It is about giving space to each other to live side by side in harmony, to grow with dignity, ability to understand, resolve, and trust, builds, builds bridges. Our beliefs should be source of reconciliation, not to build walls. The greatest gift to human beings is our compassion and resilience. When we are receptive and we honor what is both familiar and distinct, we become wiser, all embracing, and better human beings. The ultimate goal for any individual is happiness. The sweetest emotion a person can give is love. Thank you.
So well said. Uh, Love is what we can give each other, and it costs nothing.
True.
And that's
Thank
what
you.
we are sprinkling through our verses on LWG platform every time we meet here. Right, Neelam? And
Yes, dear Rupa.
you will do more of the same with the beautiful flower that you're going to be talking about. And allow me to introduce it, if you will. Hibiscus blooms like fire kissed by sun. Hibiscus whispers that beauty isn't loud to stun. Hibiscus sways in breeze, soft and open hearted. Hibiscus teaches joy returns even after petals parted. And what I see behind you, is it hibiscus too? Over to you to hear your poem, dear Neelam.
Thank you, dear Rupa. So here goes my poem, The Hibiscus Flower. While taking a morning stroll, my glance fell upon the cheery red hibiscus in my garden that was smiling and enchanting the world. For a few moments, I wondered, why do the flowers bloom in general? To spread gaiety in the atmosphere? To shower fragrance in the air? Or to make the world a happier place to live in? The redness of the hibiscus remained embedded in my mind as I walked on further. However, suddenly I remembered the red of the blood, which was shown in the play enacted in a hall inside the hustle and bustle of the city, where people were being killed for their religion, the screams, the helplessness, and the grief of the character and their dear ones. All came live in front of my eyes. And I shut my eyes tightly. After all, I couldn't shut the memories. Theater and poetry are often a depiction of reality in the society, wondering where the world is moving towards. I kept walking in hasty anger with fast strides. However, when I returned back to my house, the hibiscus was still smiling, forcing me to smile back at it. Yes, nature does have a lot of healing powers in the society of disdain. Yes, nature does have a lot of healing powers in the society of disdain. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So important to have beauty around us. That's what inspires us to bring out the beauty within. Although there are times we look around and there isn't much beauty to talk about, and we hope we can change that each time, each verse we share here on our platform.
Yes, dear Rupa, so well said. And what an amazing evening it has been, dear David, Devika, Pallavi, and Satbir. On behalf of Literary Warriors Group, Rupa and I would like to thank you from the deepest corners of our hearts. We would love to have you again in some other episode of the International Poetry Meet. So, see you till next time. Thanks
Thank you
once
Thank
so
you,
again, dear
much.
everyone.
viewers.
Thank you very much.
Neelam, allow
Have
us
a
to
good
thank
night.
you for giving up this enormous platform which has opened a world community for us and for everybody. I've seen you since you started it. God has been really kind, and I wish this goes on to greater, greater, greater heights and bigger circles and bigger spreading in the world. Thank you. And wherever this goes, love goes. Because this platform is a platform of love, positivity, and integrity, and also of hope. Right, Neelam?
Thank you
God bless
so
you.
much, Satbir ji.
God
Thank you,
bless you all.
Sunil ji, Sunil Kaushal ji, Gayatri Joshi ji, and all those who've been with us. Thank you so much, and thank you to all those who will join us later. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye
Good
bye.
day,
Good
good
night,
night, wherever
everyone.
you are.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good day. Take care.
I shared a photo